City Center Radio. It is episode 234, and I am your host, Christian Sanger. Today is Monday, March 11th, 2024. Have we hit March Madness yet? No, not necessarily talking about the NCAA tournament, although that is on the horizon. You guys losing your minds yet? A few months into the year, weather goes from a little chilly to, pretty nice, and we get the rain. It's been a lot of back and forth lately, but I hope you had a great weekend. I hope the madness of March isn't too bad for you. And to help you start your week off on an easy note, this is an interview episode, and a good one at that. Today will be an interview with Kari Weaver. She is the Director of Events of Charleston Wine Festivals. This is a newish company. They started pre-pandemic, obviously had to put things on pause. So just a couple of years in, and they host several events throughout the year, all obviously centered around wine. There's the Winter Wine Fest. They've also put on a brunch fest, a mimosa fest, and then they have some other seasonal events as well. Specifically, we're going to be talking a little bit today about the Spring Wine Festival that is taking place on March 30th over at the Citadel's football stadium. That's the Johnson Haygood Stadium. I'm sure you're very familiar with it. The event should be a lot of fun. Any guests who go there can enjoy samples of over 50 wines, beers, seltzers. There's also snacks and other food from local restaurants and food trucks. They always have live music as well. And this event will also feature a silent disco, one of those very popular additions to events over the last handful of years. People seem to really enjoy those. And I'm sure after a few wines, people will enjoy it even more. So all sorts of different things that you can do at this event. Kari's going to give us all of the details, as well as kind of give us an overview of what Charleston Wine Festivals is and what goes into putting on these events. It's a very good chat. I think you'll enjoy it. And if the event sounds fun, and you're interested, you can go ahead and visit links in the show notes for more information. The easiest thing, though, is just to go to charlestonwinefestivals.com, where you can purchase tickets and also see what other events they have coming up and, stay in the know. They also have an Instagram. That link will be in the show notes as well. So enjoy the interview. Enjoy the start to your week. And I'll be back with you after the interview. And as promised, joining me now is Kari Weaver, who is the Director of Events of the Charleston Wine Festivals. Kari, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to speak with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So we're here to talk about an upcoming event, what you do with Charleston Wine Festivals. But before we get into all that, a lot of times my listeners like to know a little bit about your background and things. Whatever I have guests on, they like to know a little bit more about them. So if you could just tell me about your background, and, if you're from here, if you moved here, just kind of a little bio about yourself.
Okay, sure. Well, I am originally from Pennsylvania. I went to Penn State and studied marketing. We've been doing Charleston Wine Festivals now since 2019. We got a few events in before the big COVID situation, but came back with a vengeance. Everyone was excited to come out to events, and it almost feels like COVID never happened as far as the event world goes, which is great that it wasn't affected in a larger way.
Yeah, it's so nice that a lot of events have been able to come back, and or new ones have debuted, and like you said, it seems like people are anxious and willing to get out there. They want to be doing stuff. We learned a lot during that time frame. Like, hey, we should probably attend all these fun events and not put them off, because you never know, when things could be taken away. So I'm glad to hear that folks are coming out to your events despite that break.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it was great to see. I remember, the first few events after COVID, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to be around people and have fun and, get outside and enjoy other people's companies, whether you knew them or not, with strangers and live music and DJs and all that fun stuff." So it's always fun.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your current role as Director of Events and how exactly you got involved with Charleston Wine Festivals.
Sure. So, as director of events, I do a little bit of everything. Everything from the permitting to volunteers and food vendors and sponsors. Working with all sorts of different vendors of varieties, selling candles and T-shirts, all that good stuff. Dealing with the health department and making sure all the food vendors are properly approved and everything. So there's a lot of logistics and details that go on to putting in events, and making sure you have security and waste management, and EMTs on hand in case anybody has any issues or incidents that go down. So there's definitely a lot of balls to juggle when putting on festivals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those are the types of things that most of us, myself included, don't even think about when you attend events. You're just excited, ready to have fun, and you don't realize how much is put into it behind the scenes. Like you said, people don't realize you got to talk about security, you got to get certain permits, and it's good for, I think, folks to hear that, because when you're attending events and you're thinking about, oh, I'm not specific to yours, but just events in general, maybe you're like, oh, this event cost X amount of dollars, I want to make sure I get the biggest bang for my buck. I'm not sure if I am. Well, a lot of that money goes towards all of that stuff that you don't think about. It's not just the food that you're at an event, or drinks, or the band on stage. It's all that other stuff that goes into it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And there's always something that, pops up the last minute, like, oh my gosh, we need signs at the entry, or we
Hmm.
need, extra this or that, or, cups and all those little things that, they make a big difference if you forget them. So
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
important to stay on top of all the things on the to-do list.
And how did you get involved with Charleston Wine Festivals? What got you with this company, I guess?
So we actually do some events in other cities, and so Charleston was one of the newer additions. We've been doing events in Atlanta for about 15 years almost.
Oh, okay.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of where it started, and then wanted to grow and branch out, and landed in Charleston. So it's been fun to kind of start from the ground up there with no emails, no prior connections with social media. Started with 0 followers, and have enjoyed watching it grow. So it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure. And it may seem like it's quite clear what exactly these events are about, but there's more to it than just wine. Could you tell us a little bit about what Charleston Wine Festivals is? What does each festival entail?
Sure. Well, there's always going to be wine, of course, but we always have some beer options for those people who might not be interested in wine. We'll always have some live music and a DJ, depending on the venue. The upcoming event on March 30th, the Charleston Spring Wine Fest. We've got kind of different areas that we can utilize. So we have access to an upstairs room where we put a DJ. And then on the field, we have the main stage with a live band called High Society. Then we've got a large tent that we've brought back the silent disco. And
Nice.
so we've got another DJ in that tent with the silent disco. And then we'll also have a solo guitarist that'll be hanging out by the entrance area to keep everybody entertained. So we love having different music options all around. We'll always have some yummy food vendors to check out, and it's just a good time. Like we love having a great crowd with a diverse group of people, all ages, and people come with their grandmas or their moms, or people just come out and have a good time. And fingers crossed, the weather's good so
Yes,
that we can
yes.
get some sunshine and hang out. And honestly, I love having events at the Citadel. Being on that football field is just so cool, and it's just a great vibe and a good time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm glad you mentioned where the event's going to be held. That is a really neat experience for anyone who hasn't attended a previous event, a non-football event at the Johnson Haygood Stadium. Just being on a football field with the stadium around you is just a really cool, experience. And, in addition to that, you'd be attending an event, where you'd be able to dance and try wines, and there's food and all sorts of good stuff going on. So it should be a lot of fun. Similar, you hold mostly seasonal events. So there's like a winter wine fest. There's also a brunch fest. Summer Wine Fest, Mimosa. I mean, throughout the year, you'll host different events, but it's all under the umbrella of Charleston Wine Festivals. So people, who are listening, just if you see that out there, it's part of the same group. So yes, we're talking right now specifically about the Spring Wine Festival, March 30th, as you mentioned, at the Citadel's football stadium. Anyone who's listening right now, where can they purchase tickets and learn more about the event?
Yes, so our website is charlestonwinefestivals.com. On that page, you'll see links to all the different events. So just click on the spring event, and that'll give you all the information, and you can buy tickets right from there. And also, we'd love to have people follow us on Instagram under Charleston Wine Festivals. We, are constantly posting on there upcoming events and announcements, and just good information to know. So that's a great way to learn about what's happening with us.
And all of the events have the same general idea as far as what you can expect when you get there. Is there anything different about the Spring Wine Festival in comparison to the other events you hold? I'm assuming one is that this one's outdoors, whereas not all of them are. Obviously, depending on the time of the year, some will be indoors. Is there any other big differences or changes that if someone maybe has attended one of your previous events, this one will be a little different?
Well, I love the Citadel because we can host more people.
Mm,
So at our indoor events, it's kind of a limited capacity. But at the Citadel, everybody can spread out. There's lots of space. Again, being on the football field is just really awesome. And we're still going to have lots of great wine options. And yeah, I mean, it's they're all of our events are a great time. You can't go
sure,
wrong.
of course. Speaking of, what is your favorite part about these festivals?
Just seeing everyone have a great time. Everybody kind of leaves a little extra happy at the end of the events after
Of
lots of
course.
wine. So, just seeing everybody's mood kind of change after a few glasses of wine, and they get out on the dance floor and just having a blast, and making new friends, hanging out with old friends, and taking all the pictures. It's just fun to watch everybody have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. Well, is there anything I haven't asked that you think is important about these festivals, or anything else that you just want to whether reiterate or something new you want to mention to the listeners, or do you think we've kind of covered it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've covered a lot, but again, everybody should follow us on Instagram at Charleston Wine Festivals just to get all the information on everything that's coming up.
Fantastic. And I'll be sure to put that link in the show notes, as well as the website where you can get tickets. So anybody who's interested, you can just easily go ahead and do that. But Kari, thank you so much for stopping by today and letting us know about the upcoming Spring Wine Festival, part of Charleston Wine Festivals. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was so great to chat with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much to Kari Weaver for stopping by and talking about Charleston Wine Festivals. Sounds like it'll be a really fun event. Remember, if you're interested in attending the Spring Wine Festival on March 30th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium, visit the links in the show notes where you can purchase tickets and learn more. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back on Wednesday with some of the latest news and what's been going on in town. Looking forward to it. Before I say goodbye this episode, though, I must say thank you to Lindsay Marie Collins with LMC Soundsystem for producing this and every episode of Holy City Center Radio. And also Tyler Boone needs a thank you for providing the music in each and every show. If you have a moment, please vote for Holy City Center in the Charleston City Paper's Best of Charleston 2024 awards. I'd really appreciate it. Holy City Center has been named a finalist in 3 categories: Best Local Social Media Influencer, Best Local Twitter/X account, and Best Local Website. It's easy to vote. You can just vote for Holy City Center's categories and be done with it if you want, but I encourage you to fill out some more because it can be a lot of fun, but I appreciate it. I will talk to you on Wednesday. Until then, good night and good luck.